All right, here is our Christmas tree all pieced on our foundation. And so what I want to point out is it's all squares and half square triangles. So we pre-made our half square triangles, and I'm going to show you a little trick on that. First, I want to show you the layout. We kind of looked at it a little bit before. What I want to point out is we have our first panel up here. The second panel has only 7 rows down. The other thing I want to point out is that we have included this scrappy border right in the piecing. So it's not something that you add later, it's all part of the piecing. Just like I showed you on that table runner, I left a little lip of the interfacing on the one panel and I matched up the 2 sections and ironed them together. So now we are ready to sew this as one big piece with no pins. Now, when you're piecing with half square triangles, it becomes all about those points. We want to get nice points. So we pre-made the half square triangles, and the trick to getting really nice points every single time, we're going to just make sure that that square fits inside our printed square. And the trick to getting really nice points is just making sure that the seam of the half square triangle lines up from corner to corner. And each of those corners is defined by that little plus mark. So it does not have to be perfect, but it does need to have the seam lined up. And then when you fold right sides together, that needs to fit safely in your 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I've lined this half square triangle up. So the seam is going from corner to corner. I'm going to give that a nice pressing, give it a little shot. Now I'm just going to sew one of the seams on this because I want to show you what your piecing is supposed to look like when you are piecing with a half square triangle. So right sides together on the seam that I'm going to sew. Let's come over to the sewing machine. I put in this nice contrasting thread. Again, start out a little bit slow, do a little back stitch, 1/4 inch seam allowance, all the way down. We're just double checking that that dotted line is along the fold. Keep coming. Okay. What's really fun about sewing this is I'm not even really sure where the half square triangles are, but I feel very confident that they're going to turn out just great. So I've sewn that seam all the way down. Let's open it up here. Okay, this is what I want to show you. So what you want to see is your point, basically 1/4 inch of your point needs to be cut off in that seam that you just sewed. Because when you sew your 1/4 inch going the other way, let's just do a little visual. When we sew the 1/4 inch the other way, then look what happens. That point is going to turn out perfect every single time. So you're going to sew your 1/4 inch seam going in one direction, do your clipping, pressing, then you're going to sew the other direction, and this is going to be finished in no time. And so now you are ready for quilting and binding.